So in this video, we're going to be looking at how to learn new scales and specifically to practice them in all 12 keys. So to practice a new scale in all 12 keys is always advice given to someone when they're learning a new scale. And the reason being that it being just so comfortable, so familiar with that scale, you can actually use it when you're writing songs, when you're playing live, when you're improvising, you're writing solos. You can use that scale wherever you happen to be on the fretboard rather than always going back to, say, first position. The downside to it is that it's not often explained how to do it. So certainly in my past, and I think this is something that I've seen other beginners struggle with, is you think it just means play the first shape of a scale in all 12 frets, and technically that's true. That you're starting on the root note in each fret. You're technically playing all 12 keys, but it's not what the advice really means. The advice really means that you know the scale inside and out, you know where the root notes are, and so whatever key you're in, you know exactly how to play that scale. So in this video, we're going to run through how to do that. So the first thing to do is obviously you need to be familiar with the shapes. So start with shape 1. Pick a scale. Best to just focus on one scale. Don't try and do major and the minors and the pentatonic. Just pick one scale to begin with. So in this video, we'll be doing the minor pentatonic. So get comfortable with shape 1 first of all. Once you're familiar with that, learn shape 2. And once you've got that committed to memory, shape 3, and so on. So then what we're going to do is actually do this following exercise. So we'll start by playing shape 1. What we're going to do is run through it like you normally would, but we're going to pause when we bump into a root note. And the reason for this is the root note is how you get, that's how you play in all 12 keys. Okay, it's not about just playing the shapes and remembering the shapes. It's about knowing where the root notes are, and then when you're playing this in a real song context, you know what you're doing. So shape 1, we'll start on F, so this first fret, pause at a root note, root note, root note. Okay, so that's what you do for shape 1. Now you know there's a root note here, here, and here. So we're going to do this for the other shapes. Now normally what people do when they learn the shapes 2, 3, 4, 5 is they start on the first note and just run through it. Now you can do that, it's good practice to do that, but it doesn't give you the musical context of the scale because you're not starting on the root note. So if we were to do, it just sounds more technical than musical. So what you want to do in this lesson by playing the scale in all 12 keys is to use the root notes. So starting from the first shape again, to do it in the second position, you would start here on this F, and finish on the root note again. Okay, this is the root note, so pause, pause, same with shape 3. So shape 3 is played, sorry, no, it's not. But again, that sounds more technical than musical. So the root note begins, there's a root note here, here, now shape 4, this is where the root note is in shape 4. There's the root note. Okay. And then for shape 5, again people would play this. But the root note is here. It's the second note in that scale shape. And here. And here. So by doing it this way, you're learning where the root note is in each shape. So if someone said to play the F minor pentatonic, and you just happen to be in this area of the fretboard, well then you know it's here. Okay, so you can do the fourth shape here. Or you can play it. That's shape 3. So it's only by knowing where the root note is. What people would normally do when they're just playing the shape, starting from the first note on it, so if we were to play the shape 3, just playing it starting and ending on the first note of the shape, you can do that in a song, but only if you know why you're doing it in a song. It's not a musical way to learn how to do it. So that's the first thing to do. Learn the shapes, play through them, pausing and repeating the root notes, just so it burns it into your mind where they are. And then you can start to join these together. So again, starting in shape 1, each time we hit the root note, we're going to move along a shape. Shape 1. So now to shape 2. Okay, so now we're here. Shape 3. Now into shape 5. And we're back into shape 1. And you could go into shape 2 again. So there you go, that is a quick, easy way to learn scales and to play them in all 12 keys. So this is to play the minor pentatonic in the key of F. To do that in F sharp, you would just start in the 2nd fret. For G, you'd start in the 3rd fret. Of course, we're starting with shape 1, so the root note is just the first note in the shape. And then you just learn to incorporate all 5 shapes. Pause on the root note, repeat playing the root note, and then once you're comfortable with that, whenever you hit a root note, move into the next position, and you'll be playing horizontally across the neck. Playing horizontally across the neck is the stumbling block for a lot of guitar players when they're learning scales. You learn these shapes up and down, this sort of vertical position, and then learning how to combine them all to move this way. That's the struggle, but that's the bit that really comes in handy when you're writing songs and solos, because you can get these lovely runs up the neck. That's how you start to do it. That's how you get the knowledge and also the confidence to do that. So remember, instead of just running through the shapes of scales and learning the shapes in your mind, remember where the root notes are, play them in a musical context, join them together, moving through them, and go back down again, and you'll have them all committed to memory under your fingers in no time.